Previously on Chosen Ones. Our 4 protagonists are all invited by the current Chosen One, Merlin Lancaster, to attend a program known as the Chosen Few. Some jumping more at this idea than others, our heroes soon continue their journey towards the compound to enhance their abilities and better learn to protect themselves from those who may wish them harm.
Break me down, we keep fracturing, so you forget your place and never find grace. Fly me away before the clouds of pain, so we will lose our wings within the storm. Breathe me in, take what's left of me. I lose my mind to fate, I cannot this race. Heart beating hard, erase your belief. I will destroy what's left and run away. Get with the two, harmony, the shadow in this sea. Come to the page, the curtains rising soon.
So you all travel for your amount of times to reach the compound of the Chosen Few. And surprisingly, despite being the farthest away, Avayath is the first one to arrive. And when he arrives at the gates of the Chosen Few, it is a very large facility with different sections and things divided up inside its interior. The walls appear to be kind of not necessarily like glowing, but there is like a magical radiant like energy kind of coming off of them, which you feel is like some kind of protection barrier essentially. And you arrive in, and the guard at the gate lets you in, no problem, seeing your wings, knowing exactly who you are essentially. And you are led in, and there is no one else here yet. You appear to be the first one. There is a large stage kind of set up in front of a clearing with some chairs and things and tables laid out. And you see 2 figures currently talking to each other up on the stage. A half-orc with orange hair and the other a blonde-haired man who first appears to be human until you see like the light blue glare of his eyes, which distinguishes him as a soul folk. And they are talking to each other currently up on the stage when you enter.
Avayath kind of loudly walks in, because he's got the big armor and he's just huge. And he says, hello, it's good to meet you two.
The 2 stop talking to each other and turn to look at you. And you see the half-orc kind of get a big giant grin on his face and put his hands on his hips, and he's like, "Wow, you're the first one here! Good job!"
Yes, I am. I made sure to come early.
You're really early. The other chosen ones aren't even here yet.
Well, you can't afford to be late when, sometimes the fate of an entire town can depend on you.
Right on. Well, I'm Winddual Knight, one of the mentors here, and this is Peter Octavius, also a mentor. Peter is just kind of staring at you, with his hand kind of resting on the handle of his sword with a raised eyebrow, and he has not spoken yet. And Wynn goes back to turning to him and talking to him, and you can see now that you're closer, you can see Wynn has just been talking to him, and he's been saying absolutely nothing, and just staring at him. He's just rambling on and on, essentially, about how excited he is for all the new recruits to be coming in today, and how he's like, I didn't get to be here during the first thing. I wasn't around yet, or I was a kid, I don't remember. Anyway, I'm like, we're like gonna train people and stuff, right? That's like the thing, that's what we're doing, and then we're gonna send people in the world, and he kind of just keeps going on like that.
Avayath is not judgmental because he does literally the same thing.
And Peter kind of just still looking at Wynn, but he kind of just seems zoned out, essentially.
I guess the thing Avayath would say to them is like, do you two have a moment? Would you like to hear about the good word of our Lord and Savior Claytor?
Wynn kind of stops mid-sentence and looks at him, and he's like, not really big on religion, thanks though.
Oh, well, you should consider it. It could save your soul.
That's cool. Anyway, Peter still has his hand resting on the sword, and looks at him with a raised eyebrow, and he's like,
I already have one, thank you.
Oh, who is it?
It's personal.
Personal? I haven't heard of that god.
Oh my god!
Are you trying to be funny?
Wow. I messed up. So I wasn't thinking.
So you weren't trying to be funny?
Sweats nervously. I apologize. I don't normally slip up like this.
Awkward. Anyway, so
some other people should be coming here pretty soon, so why don't you just make yourself at home? We've got some food and stuff out on the tables. What else am I supposed to say? Shoot, okay, if you have questions, you can ask the other chosen ones when they get here.
Oh, I can't wait to meet them.
Okay, I've talked a lot. I feel like I'm gonna go hang out with the cook, I think, see if he needs any help.
All right. I'll maybe see you later then.
See ya!
And he kind of jumps off the stage, and you see him kind of brush past you and go running off.
Avayath literally does the same thing to Peter where he sits down and he's like, let me tell you the story of how I defeated the Avagrim.
You defeated the what?
The Avagrim.
Raises an eyebrow at that.
Oh, you haven't heard this story?
Must have not been on my radar.
Can I do a performance check to see how good he does at telling the story?
Go for it.
Alright, performance. He's got really high performance. 12. It's very mediocre.
You go into the details, essentially. You talk about how you found him on the edge of the Black Forest and how he came out of nowhere and was just ransacking the villages nearby, and you raised your mighty sword and brought it down on him, and your radiant energy just flowed forth from you as Claytor blessed you, and he exploded, but not all the way exploded, just enough so that he ran back into the forest.
He's gonna skew the story to make himself sound cooler than he really was.
Yeah.
He's not even gonna explain that he didn't literally explode. He's just gonna be like, and he exploded! And Peter's like, what?
Peter's just like, good for you.
It is good for me.
And good for everyone else too, right? If you chased him away.
I don't believe he's coming back. He'll be too scared.
You are quite scary, aren't you?
He nods yes, very proudly.
You guys both sit in a moment of silence here before you hear the door open again. The gates open for another person who has been let inside, where you see a young half-elf with long blue hair and a sheathed sword coming through the front gates.
Ooh, that's me. So, Shui, how big are the gates? Are they already open?
They are ginormous. Vehicles and things come through this gate, so they're
okay.
yeah. But there's a guard station to let people in.
So he's waving to the guard, like, you know, like the really, I don't know how the big waving. He's like, goodbye.
The guard's waving back.
And so as he, you know, turns to face, you know, whatever he's walking in on, it's like he's going inside of a building, or is he going inside of like a town or something like that?
It's kind of like it's like a walled, kind of like a small town, I guess, or a village. It's divided up into sections and stuff. In the center area where the current gathering is, there's like a clearing for chairs and things, and also a wooden stage.
Okay, so it's like, so this guy is visible or something, right?
Yes, there are little huts and areas, but the actual walled exterior does not have a top or roof.
Shui probably doesn't have much with him. He probably has like a tiny little knapsack with food, like only food, not clothes or anything, just food. That's probably mostly gone at this point. And then he has his sword. And then Avayath's sitting with Peter.
Yeah, Avayath is sitting in front of the stage, and Peter is staring down at him.
Oh. Okay. Shui's going to walk, is there food?
There is, yeah.
He's gonna follow the scent of food.
Yeah, the tables and things are set up with food, and you kind of approach, and Peter is still standing on the stage, doesn't really seem to notice you, is kind of just staring down at Avayath, who's probably still talking.
Yeah, Avayath would still be talking.
Shui is grabbing stuff off of plates and putting it in his mouth and chewing. And he's like, ooh, this is good. So what kind of, is it just like finger foods or?
It's everything. It's
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 pretty
like a
much
full
everything.
meal. Yeah.
Oh my god, he is in heaven right now. He loves food. Yeah, so he's just eating. At first he was just, a little peckish. Now he's like full on like, oh my god, this is fucking great. And it's free.
Roll a perception check.
Got an 8. I mean, no, 7.
7. Okay. You hear some kind of like clamoring nearby, like in the area that it looks like there's like a little cooking hut set up that's kind of closed off, and you see like hands kind of push Win out, essentially. You don't really hear what is being said or anything, or see the person inside, but you just see Win kind of like bow in a like he's apologizing essentially, and then run back and be like, "Hey guys, what's up? Someone else is here. Oh, hey."
Shui looks like he was caught doing something he shouldn't have been doing. Face full of food. He's like, and he drops like, I don't know, a fucking breadstick or some shit. And he's like waving at Win.
Win smiles brightly and gives him a little wave back, and kind of glances up at the stage. And Peter kind of looks at him almost darkly, as Avayath is still talking. And Win's just like, we should be getting some more people here today. I don't know if everyone's gonna show up or not, but like, a good number. What's your name?
He points to like him because his mouth is full of food. He's like, me?
Yeah.
Big swallow. I'm Shui. And he bows. It's nice to meet you.
It's nice to meet you too.
And then he realizes he's not back at his village or whatever. He's like, oh, right. And then he holds out a hand.
Win takes it and he's like, I'm Win Dual Knight, or the Reckless Caster, whatever you know me by.
Uh-huh. Whatever you know me by. I have no idea who this person is.
Roll a history check.
Yeah, let me roll. Has no idea who this person is. I got a 3.
Nope. Don't know who that is.
Oh, you probably heard of me.
He kind of looks at you a little bit and he's just like, do you not... It's fine. So...
I'm sorry,
What?
maybe...
No, you're fine. You're like young, like a kid.
I'm an adult, he says.
with tears in his eyes.
Yeah.
Win's 27. He's not super young in this. He kind of like puts his hands on his hips and he's like, well, did you introduce yourself to the other guy? He seems to be introducing himself to Peter quite well.
Oh, no, sorry, I think I got distracted, by this food here. Eyes are like shifting. I'm back towards the breadsticks, which are really good. It was free food, right?
It is free food, correct?
Eyes twinkle. He's just like, that big knight there, is he a chosen one?
The full armor guy?
He nods.
No.
I would also note, seeing Avayath, this is the only Asmer you've ever seen with wings.
Is he a... What was Oasis? What was she called?
She just said she was a servant.
Servant? Oh. Is he a servant too?
Servant of what?
A god.
I mean, he's been talking about a god for a while.
Oh, is he gonna train us?
No, he's here to be trained.
So, how do you train a trainer?
He's not... Kid, he's the same as you.
No, he's really big and has wings.
No, I mean, he's a spark.
Oh, he like does like the fist to the hand thing. Like, oh, I got it now. She's like, oh wow, I didn't even know. I would never have guessed.
I mean, people can be older or really big and still be a chosen one or a spark or whatever.
He's a spark too?
Yeah.
I'm gonna go say hi.
Go say hi. Do it.
Believe in you. He pats you on the back.
He trots over to Avayath and Peter. It's the most simple name, and I was like, what's his name?
Yeah, so Avayath stands up as soon as he sees Shui, and he's like, "Oh, hello there. I'm sorry I didn't see you come in."
Shui's neck like cranes up. He bows. And he's like, "I'm Shui. I'm also a spark." And then he realizes he's not at home, so he's sticking out his hand.
"A pleasure to meet you, Shui." And he like shakes Shui's hand way too much, like way too aggressively, bouncing Shui's tiny body up and down.
Shui's like, "Well, yeah, are you a servant?"
No, I'm not a servant, but I wouldn't mind telling you about who my god is. Would you like to, take a minute to hear about my lord and savior, Claytor?
Shui's like, "Sure."
Oh, okay. I didn't think I'd get this far, but Avayath isn't surprised. So Avayath just starts rambling. "Claytor was once a very active god when he was first formed, creating mountains and large forests across the world. As the years have continued, however, he's considered a dormant god, not having been seen in almost 2 centuries. There are prophets that claim to have the ability to still speak with him by doing heavy mediation sessions within the caves of the mountains." He's just gonna keep going.
When he goes like heavy mediation, all that, Shui like checked out like mentally. But he was like initially he was nodding on like yeah.
And then it just goes and it just like gets slower and slower.
He says mediation. Shui's like, "Meat."
At this point in the conversation, you both hear the gates open again as 2 more people enter. A pale-skinned tiefling and a very small, well, not for Shui, but for Avayath, a very small human.
Strolling on in.
I don't know if Avayath was still talking, but Shui will literally go like, "Hi." Just, I don't know.
Get me out of this conversation.
Yeah. And he waves to Theo and Brandy, though he doesn't know that's their names, obviously.
"Welcome. Are you 2 sparks as well?"
Should I have hidden myself or?
Theo's like raising his eyebrow and is like, no, it's fine. You were invited. And then they're called over by the other 2. And he sort of like waves back and he's like, "Oh, hi. Yeah, I'm a spark," and he kind of like looks over to Brandy. He's like, the way that Merlin was like, "I have ways about these things," made Theo think like, does that mean he has a spark? Like, what are you talking about? So he doesn't know for sure about Brandy.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah, but he'll introduce himself as one. So he's like, "Yeah, I have a spark, I guess." As he waves over and he kind of like gestures Brandy to follow him up to the other 2.
He follows. He's like, he shakes his head and he's like, "I ain't nobody special. Don't worry about me."
Hi, welcome.
Howdy.
"Such a pleasure to meet you 2. He holds out his hand for a handshake.
Theo will hold his hand out too.
Shui was about to bow, but then he saw Avayath hold out his hand. He's like, "All right." And he holds out his hand too.
Theo fell for the trap. Now Theo is being rocked up and down.
You've activated my trap card.
Very nice to meet you too.
Shakes Shui's hand gently.
Oh.
And I'm Win, the 5th wheel. No, just kidding. Sorry.
I'll feel you.
No. Wynn's just kind of smiling at you guys with his hands on his hips. And he's just like,
We should be getting some more people here today. Hopefully.
Oh, is this everyone?
Nope, we should have way more.
I feel like we were really late though. I mean, I guess walking on the road, not used to it as much anymore.
Yeah, we tried to time it where everyone would get here on time if they left when we said they should.
Yeah, they gave a lot of time to decide.
Were you guys visited by Merlin too?
Yeah. Yeah, I guess were you visited?
He nods his head and was like, "She was kind of weird, but she's really funny. I like her."
funny. Okay. Very, important looking, seeming. I don't know how to explain it.
She is quite important. I can't have Avayath say more than that because I don't know.
She's the chosen one for now.
Oh yeah, I forgot to mention that, I guess.
No.
She is the chosen one after all, he would point out.
Right. Yeah, so what's, the sparks? What are your guys's?
Oh, well, you never heard of my spark? Well, that's quite the tale. This is gonna go on for a while. The day I was born with angel wings and radiant eyes. It was prophesied for years.
Brandy fucking sweats
And
listening
I was
to this.
able to... Yeah.
Shui's just smiling, but he's not really listening.
It's like just static in his ears.
He's like, I've been going through this before.
Yeah. And then, yeah, he basically explains how I guess he explains everything. Like, he was able to cast magic at a very young age, and then he grew up to become this big hero. He's known for slaying undead and necromancers and fiends, and his biggest accomplishment... Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, Theo was like he was like very impressed. He was like, really? Like, he was like actually, impressed. Like, oh, it sounds so amazing. And then he would like get to like, and I've killed these things. And Theo would be like, oh.
Less cool.
Yeah, I mean, I guess if they're terrorizing a town or something, I guess it's okay. And he like gives like a tight smile probably at it.
Yeah, and he emphasizes his biggest accomplishment, defeating the Abagrim.
What is the Avagrim? Does Theo know?
Roll a history check.
Brandy fucking sweats. Brandy's sweating real bad.
13.
13?
Yeah.
Okay, hold on, let me... You definitely heard of him before. He wasn't something huge on your radar in terms of like things that you learned about. It's one of those things where it's like a general history class that you took and they explained it a bit. You don't know exactly what Avayath is talking about. Like, he's like, oh, I defeated Abagrim. You don't know about that, but you do know that Abagrim is an archfiend who was affiliated with the creation of necromancy, specifically puppeteering of the dead.
Oh, I suppose that is quite the feat.
Yes, many people were saved that day, and Abagrim is never coming out of that forest again, he says, sweating under his armor, not actually sure about what he just said.
Oh, right.
Well, good to hear that.
Yeah.
Sounds like you're doing a good job.
Oh, well, thank you.
There is like a small moment of silence in your group, and then Peter kind of jumps down from the stage and walks forward towards you all, still with his hand on the sword, and he's looking between you all, and he's like, I'm Peter Octavius, one of the previous chosen ones. This is Wynn, if he didn't properly introduce himself, also a previous chosen one.
Peter? Shui says, and like snaps around and gets a look at Peter, sees sword, and like drops to his knees and goes deep bow.
Get up.
Deep bow.
What the hell are you doing?
It's too early for you to be blowing it like this.
Shui, he gets up as quickly as he got down and is just like, you have an elven sword.
He takes a long moment to look at you and then blinks and is just like, sure, if that's what you want to call it.
Shui, kind of, he takes his sword from his hip and kind of like, holds it out, not like for him to take, but just to like show it off. He's like, I have one too, but I was hoping you could train me. That's why I came here.
Train you? What's wrong?
Well,
I suck.
I got this sword, but I can't draw it. it only came out one time. And now it's stuck.
It's stuck.
Yeah, see? And then he's gonna try to pull it out. Except I got a nat 1. What the fuck? Please! Oh my god!
Oh my god!
You have got to be shitting me. I'm gonna take a screenshot.
God!
He watches your hand
chops off
fucking
his head.
cramp off.
God! No, I just got rid of this!
I like to imagine that this time when he tries to pull it, he loses his balance and he falls like backwards as he's trying to unsheath it.
He was trying really hard to pull it out.
Brandy tries to catch him.
You can just catch him.
Careful.
Thank you. See? It won't come out.
That does look to be quite stuck. Are you sure it's yours?
Well, that's what Oasis said.
You trust the words of a siren?
A siren? I thought she was a servant. Is that the same thing? What does that mean?
He kind of sighs a little bit at that.
She is a servant of the water goddess,
Yeah, that's what she told me. Mizuni?
who is also the goddess of trickery.
Oh, she didn't tell me that.
Be careful with that sword.
He's looking at it, and it's just like, okay, thank you.
He kind of gives a little nod and then he looks over towards the rest of the group.
And he's like, go ahead and eat. It'll be a while. Some of you aren't looking too well.
And he glances at Brandy when he says that before turning around.
Theo perks up because he likes to eat.
Same club.
Literally, you're talking about him being like so excited to eat, and I'm like, man, Theo's about to join him.
Fuck yeah.
But yeah, like the little tinies going and eating a ton. But yeah, he will kind of like pat Brandy's arm and is like, come on, we've been traveling so long, we should have something.
I'm not hungry. You help yourself.
He sort of like furrows his brow and he's like, well, at least pick something up and maybe you can eat it later if you're feeling like it.
Alright, sure.
Shui's like, you two seem pretty close. How long have you known each other?
A few weeks?
About a month now, I think. Just
Yeah.
barely shy.
Something like that, yeah.
Huh. I hope I can be as close as you two have gotten with each other.
Okay, yeah. Theo gives like him a smile and he's like, yeah, I would love to be your friend.
Yeah, you all seem like nice people.
Nod.
Shui smiles. He's like, I don't have very many friends. Well, not outside of my town at least.
I know what you mean. It's been a while since I left my town. Shut up. It's been a while since I left my town, so it's a lot. It's like they're going over to the table, and Theo's like grabbing up foods to eat.
Shui's also grabbing food, like he didn't already stuff his face before.
Yeah, Theo's grabbing a lot to the age. And he's making sure Brandy's getting stuff too. And honestly, like, did you explain it like a buffet or did you explain it like...
It's tables of food, so it's different tables. Kind of buffet-ish, I guess.
Okay, so basically if Brandy's like has a plate that he can put stuff on, Theo's just kind of like piling stuff onto Brandy's plate too.
He just lets him. He's like, okay, I'll never eat this, but thank you.
So you guys sit down and start eating your food, and you see, over the course of a little bit of time, 4 other people join. Trickling in kind of near the edges. Some are talking to each other. You see a goblin, an Asmer, a Tabaxi, and a Triton kind of slowly over the course of the hour make their way inside. And you hear Peter at that kind of whisper, or not Peter, Wynn kind of whisper to Peter and be like, is that really it? It's like time. Where is everyone else? And Peter's just like,
You weren't here for the first group. This is probably a good turnout.
Are any of them recognizable by visuals and context?
I would say all of you can make a history check if you so would like to.
I so would like to.
Let's roll. Baby.
20.
I got a +2.
I went to college.
Avayath's got a feat where it's called name dropping. You know and have met a number of powerful people across the land, so would he have some kind of advantage or just...
These are not powerful people.
Okay, in that case, it would just be plain history,
Got a 16.
which he sucks at.
16.
2.
2. Oh my god.
Avayath, my man.
Was Shui gonna roll or no?
No.
Okay. I would say looking these people.
Oh my god. Sorry, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry for interrupting you, but I rolled just to see what I would get, and I got a fucking nat 1. I am so fucking tired
Dude,
of this
use a
shit.
different roller. Jesus
Yeah.
Christ.
I'm so tired of this.
Are you fucking kidding?
Good thing I didn't
my God.
roll.
So Theo, kind of looking them over, you would recognize the Triton was someone who you saw occasionally in the schools, in the hallways of your schools. Sorry, you saw occasionally in the hallway of your schools. You didn't have any classes or anything with them, but you do know that they attended your school.
OMG.
Alumni.
I would say the other 3 you don't really recognize. Besides their clothing, you could say that the Tabaxi is probably from Seoul. And the goblin is probably from Winaria, which, Brandy, you would kind of... that clothing style looks familiar to you, the goblin. And none of you seem to know the Asmer. She seems to be dressed very strangely.
Randy sweats.
Theo doesn't make assumptions because he's wearing red and he ain't from Seoul. So, like, I'm just saying. So, yeah, he will assume that he doesn't know much about anyone else except for the Triton who he had seen in passing.
Some interesting folks popping up.
Yeah, I went to school with one of them. Not any classes, but I saw them around. And he's just like pretty much halfway done with his giant filled plate, you know.
The Asmer actually kind of wanders around for a bit, looking around, kind of seeming interested in the wall and going up and like touching it and raising an eyebrow at it. But she turns when she sees Avayath and her eyes go very wide and she smiles very brightly and runs right up to him and is just like, "Oh, you're Avayath Abaddon, right?
Yes, it is I, Avayath the Undead Slayer.
I have heard so much about you.
Oh, have you now?
Yes, you're an Asmer like me." And she points to her halo.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yes, I haven't seen anyone of our kind with the wings like you have, or any wings for that matter. It's quite impressive.
Oh, why thank you, yes.
How did
I
you
was
get
born
them?
with them.
Oh, you were born with them, oh. She like just falters.
Well, it's a pleasure to meet you. I've, like I said, heard a lot about you.
A pleasure to meet you as well. He holds out his hand.
She takes it and smiles and shakes it. Roll a strength check.
Alright, let's see if I
She's
can...
about to break your fucking hand.
Yeah, let's see if I can break her hand. Let's go. A 6.
Uh-oh.
A 6? Oh my god.
She's about to break your fucking hand, dude.
Hold on.
She flips you off the fucking table. Throws you onto the ground.
She's like, I know what you're up to.
Pile drives you.
She actually is not that strong, so it's funny because she got a 7. So you just kind of both equally shake each other's hands. There isn't really any show of force or anything on either end. Her grip is a little tighter than yours.
I think he's gonna be impressed anyways, and he's gonna be like, you've got quite the firm handshake.
Oh, thanks. Same to you.
Yeah, and he nods.
And she kind of lets go of your hand and kind of goes like after she shakes your hand.
Disgusting.
And is looking around at the other people, and she's like, "This is quite an arrangement of sparks, don't you think?"
It is indeed. These are all wonderful people from what I've known from them for the past few seconds.
Between you and me, who's your favorite?
Oh, well, I can't pick a favorite. They're all so great.
Oh, yes, you can. She kind of nudges you.
I can't, honestly.
Oh, you're no fun. She kind of like fluffs her hair a little bit and starts to move away from you at that.
Hi, I'm Shui. This poor boy. He's trying so hard.
Who are you saying that to? To her?
Yes, to her.
Okay. She's walking away from Avayath, and she essentially kind of just like almost runs into you as you seem to pop out of nowhere. And she kind of starts a little bit and looks at you and smiles. She's like, "Hi, Shui. That's an interesting name. Where are you from?"
He's like, I'm from Moonfoam.
Moonfoam. Where's that?
It's kind of close to Greenflower.
Oh, I got you. You an adventuring sort then? A pirate?
No, but that sounds fun.
She kind of gives a little chuckle at that and is looking around at the other group, and she's like, "You have a chance to talk to everyone yet? I'm a little late."
He kind of nods his head. He's like, that big guy over there is Brandy. Did he say his name?
He would introduce himself, yeah.
Okay. That big guy over there is Brandy. That guy that's the same size as me, that's Theo.
We're fun sized. No, sorry.
Together we may, if we stack ourselves on top of each other, we make a full-size person.
They aren't even like super short, honestly. They just
They're
look
not.
like they are.
We're just fucking unified. They're just fucking huge.
7 foot and 6'5".
Yeah.
He's just like, that big guy over there, you know him, but that's Avayath.
Oh, of course, everyone's heard of Avayath.
And I haven't talked to the other people yet. What's your name?
I'm Essence Pale Gold. It's nice to meet you.
He is about to bow, but then he's like, oh, wait. Then he holds out his hand.
You can bow.
Oh, are you... He bows. He's like, sorry, that's just what we do in my village.
Just do what you're comfortable with. I don't care.
I like you. You're fun.
She gives a big grin at that, and she's like, "Thanks, you seem like a lot of fun too. Who's your favorite here?"
Favorite? Favorite what?
I don't know. Who do you like the most, I guess?
Well, Peter also has an elven blade, so I kind of like him. Though
He's not a spark, though. That's a mentor.
Oh, well, he's looking at everybody, and he's like, it's hard to say. I think you're my favorite so far.
Aw, that's so sweet. I do like you.
And Shui's like, I look forward to learning with you.
I look forward to learning with you too. What are you good at? What are you studying?
I'm a sword fighter. I'm really good with swords.
Like a sword singer.
Watch this. Oh, that's exactly what I am. Yeah.
Watch what?
Oh, he was gonna do a trick.
Okay.
And he's not gonna draw his blade out, obviously, because he can't do that. But he is gonna do a fun little trick. I don't know. I'll roll performance.
Go for it.
He a bard, so you know how they be. That is a not natural 20.
What kind of trick are you doing?
Backflip.
Yeah, I'm doing like some flips.
You do these like sick fucking flips. You do like a double backflip. And she is like, "Oh,
I want him
good
to
job."
like stand on his sword, like, you know what I mean?
Avayath will applaud him as well.
Brandy gives a light clap.
Theo also claps.
And she kind of looks at you. She gives like a very like big grin. It's like, "I'm gonna try now."
Here.
For Sparkus, she's a copycat. I'm calling it now.
She does okay. It's not great. It's an okay flip. She does not do a backflip. It's impressive, but it's not like what you just did, essentially.
Yeah, she's gonna clap like really excitedly.
And when she's done, she kind of frowns at that and kind of looks up at you, and she's like, "There's no need to clap. I fucking sucked."
No, you.
Oh no.
What? You were great.
No,
That was a wonderful job. You did a backflip.
it was bad.
You're wrong, but no.
Don't be so hard on yourself.
I don't need your pity. And then she turns away and starts like storming off from you.
Alright.
Oops.
Yikes.
Theo like looks awkwardly to Brandy.
Yeah, he's like, ooh.
She seemed cool up until like fucking 5 seconds ago.
Yeah, Shui looks at Avayath and is like, I thought she did really well.
I'll be sure to apologize for later. I'm sure it'll be fine.
Yeah.
We're here to have a good time and get to know each other.
Right.
Yeah. And he was like, oh, can I ask you a question?
Sure.
It's hard to remember your name. Can I call you Yaya?
Shut the fuck up. Don't you dare.
Yeah, I like that name. Go ahead.
Cool. And he's like, thanks, that makes it so much easier. I'm not too good with names.
Oh, I understand. I'm not exactly an expert with names myself.
Yeah, what was the name of your god again? Called Clap?
Claytor.
Claytor? Claytor.
Yes.
Cool.
You'd hear Avayath getting angrier.
Claytor!
You dumb bastard!
Why don't you know my god?
It's 2 syllables!
You again.
Was Avayath eating with them?
Avayath was. I didn't say he was, but
Okay,
he's
I
sticking
was
like
curious.
pork chops into his little helmet.
Oh my god.
See?
The helmet
He
stays
still
on
doesn't take it off.
during everything.
So you seem very equipped.
I am at
Theo.
all times.
Yeah, you don't relax at all?
A hero can never let his guard down. Always has to be prepared to face evil.
Right.
That's fair.
When you mention Claytor, you actually see the goblin nearby who's been kind of wandering around, very clearly eavesdropping on conversations. She kind of comes up to you and she's just like, Claytor?
Oh no, I hate that.
Yes, would you like to hear about our Lord and Savior Claytor?
Oh, no. I already worship him.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Are you a cleric too?
No, I'm a paladin.
Oh.
I
Interesting.
took the oath of the crown.
A good oath for Claytor.
He nods.
She picks up 2 rocks off the ground and just starts banging them together for Claytor.
For Claytor.
Oh, that looks fun.
Brandy fucking looks at Theo like, where the fuck are we?
Theo gives Brandy a look like, be nice.
Claytor is the god of stone. I am showing my respect.
Yes. Claytor believes strongly in not messing with the cycle of life and death and preserving nature at all costs.
Oh, I'm more about the stone part.
Oh.
I'm more about rocks and things. Brandy sweats a little when Avayath mentions what Claytor does.
Avayath, after saying "oh" like that, is just kind of like silent for the first time. He finally stops talking.
Shui's making music with
You
rocks.
know the Sinberry Mountains, over on that way near Seoul.
She kind of gestures vaguely. And she's like,
That's where I lived, in the mountains in Sinberry, on the Winaria side.
Oh, wonderful. I've actually never visited there before.
Oh, there are a lot of dead bodies.
Oh.
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 You can find some very interesting things.
Yeah.
Looking at dead bodies isn't quite my thing, but
Well, you know, that's where the war was, or one of the wars. I don't remember which one, but they didn't ever clean up, so there's lots of things left behind.
yeah, that must be quite a sight to see.
it is. It's nasty, disgusting, gross, but they can give a lot of fun little jewelry and pieces.
Okay. What'd you say your name was?
Let me check.
I don't know. I wrote it on my hand. Hold on. I just got it yesterday. Claytor told it to me.
I saw it in a patch of rocks.
Where is her fucking name?
It was spelled out in front of me.
Did she not? I might not have made her a character sheet
I
yet.
may not have a name.
No, she has a name. I just
I
might have forgotten to make her a character sheet.
She's like, my name is Draga. Pleasure to meet you.
Pleasure.
Yes, same pleasure.
Yes, nice to meet you. He's like getting up with his empty plate now, kind of looking around for the proper place to put his things.
I was going to go chat with the big, handsome blonde man, so I'll be back. Remember, from stone we came, and from stone we shall return. And then she runs away.
Yes,
Indeed.
Yes, of course.
real interesting folks.
Yes,
Interesting indeed.
It's very nice to meet some very different people.
Yeah, definitely interesting.
They're all very friendly, and I'm sure they have great potential.
Theo, roll a perception check.
Uh-oh.
Oh, shit. Perception is +5. 21.
Okay, so you're kind of looking around, and it takes you a second kind of looking between all these people before you realize someone's been staring at you for a while, and you recognize that it is the Triton that you saw who had been at school with you, who, the second you make eye contact with him, kind of very quickly puts his head down.
Fear.
Theo blinks in surprise, because he's like, well, I knew of him, but I'm a nobody, so I don't know why he knows of me. So he literally... Is there like a place to put his plate away nearby the Triton?
They have like little bins and things, like they have like composting areas and also like little dish area to put your dishes, essentially. So
okay, is there one near the Triton?
Yeah, we can say there is.
Okay. He'll like put his hand on Brandy's shoulder and be like, I'll be right back. And he'll scurry off to take his plate over there, put it away and stuff. And he will sort of linger around the Triton before kind of like waving to try to get his attention.
He kind of hesitates. He kind of looks like he's trying to act like he doesn't see you at first. But when it's clear that you are like directing your waves at him, he raises his head a bit and waves a little bit sheepishly back, and it's just like, hi, you're Theo, right?
Oh, you know my name. Yeah, I happen to recognize you from, let me remember my college really quick. I happened to recognize you from Waterline University.
Yeah, I saw you sometimes in the hallway. You were mentioned a lot in the nurse's ward.
I was mentioned? Oh, it's probably about the, all of my trips there. But yeah, I recognize you from the hallway too. What's your name?
Titus.
Well, it's nice to meet you, Titus. I didn't want to just be awkward and pretend like I didn't recognize you.
I thought maybe it would be strange to approach you since we never talked before.
Yeah, I did too, but then you were looking at me and
I was trying not to. Was it that obvious?
I'm not that obvious.
You were the only... I didn't expect I would know anyone here.
Yeah, I didn't think I would know anyone either. But I guess we can become new friends too. And he'll hold his hand out to shake.
You see like a sparkle in Titus's eyes at that, and he reaches out and very gently takes your hand and shakes it. And he's like,
yes, it's good to know someone.
He gives a smile and a nod, and he's like, of course. I'm gonna go sit back with my friend over there, but feel free to join us.
Oh, I don't want to bother the rest of them. They don't know me.
Well, I don't know most of them either, so you would be fine.
If your group is okay with that.
I'm sure they're just fine with it.
Don't bring that fish motherfucker over here! I hate fish!
Just kidding.
he brightens at that again and kind of gets up very hurriedly and grabs his things to start following you back to your table.
Theo is very happy with this development. He's like smiling and he returns to his seat next to Brandy and is Yeah, so the person I mentioned earlier that I recognized is, this guy, Titus.
Hi.
Hello there, pleasure to meet you.
He kind of flinches at Avayath's loud voice.
Pleasure.
It's nice to meet you too. You all look like you come from a lot of different places.
Yeah, you could say that.
I suppose we do.
Hi, I'm Shui. I'm from Moonfoam.
Moonfoam. I think I've been there once or twice. You're near, Green Flower, right?
He nods and he's like, yeah, that's the one.
Rather small village.
He nods his head again. He's like, it is. But my master, she often took me into town, so I got to see all kinds of people and hear all kinds of stories.
That's good. Small isn't bad, by the way. It was nice. It was a nice village.
He's like, it's really comfortable.
He kind of nods a little bit at that, and then just kind of looks like he clams up a bit and stops talking very fast.
Theo notes this and is like, so if you're here, you must be, or have some sort of spark as well.
Sort of, but, I mean, it's hard to tell when it doesn't affect you, so.
Yeah, my spark was a little, hard to justify feeling like it's special, but then again, being bit by a snake and living, well, poisonous one anyway. Kind of significant, I guess.
Yeah, I heard about that. No one's ever survived that before.
Yeah, I guess I just have to thank the universe for being kind to me.
Shui's eyes kind of go wide. He's like, I'm glad you lived. You're really lucky.
Yeah, it's all up to fate, but
I'd like to believe it's a little more than fate.
Oh, well, what's your spark?
He kind of freezes a little bit at that.
And he's just like, it's, nothing very interesting. I don't like using it very often.
I understand that. You don't have to tell me. But I never got to hear what yours was, Shui.
Oh, well, sometimes when I attack, I can heal people.
Oh.
And I can also make a magic shield.
That's so nice. That's a very nice spark.
He kind of chuckles a little bit, and he's just like, it's come in handy sometimes. I didn't really get it at first. I didn't think it suited me, but my master Dashi, she showed me its worth.
I know exactly what you mean. Was kind of hard to test out my spark without eating a poison berry or really messing up. So, but I guess I managed to do it enough times that it just kind of became obvious. Basically, I'm immune to things, so.
Oh, that's really cool.
Mm-hmm. Very useful. Again, I'm very lucky.
He looks at Brandy.
Looks at Shui.
Oh, you don't have a spark, do you?
No, I'm not someone special. I was just invited here.
Yes, you are.
Yeah, don't say that. Yeah, Shui's like, no, don't say that.
They just invited me here, that's all. I'm not
That makes you special, that you were invited, you know? Exactly.
Everyone is special in their own way.
I don't know. I'm just here for the ride, I guess. I don't got any fancy magic powers or nothing like that. Nothing out of the ordinary.
Oh, stop. You're plenty good at things.
Well, I have faith that you'll accomplish great things.
I appreciate it. I appreciate the sentiment.
Smile and nod.
You guys talk for quite a bit, probably an hour or two. And Peter and Wynn are still kind of up on the stage, mostly silent. Every now and again, Wynn says something, and at this point, Peter just holds up a hand to him to get him to stop talking. They wait for a while, and then eventually you hear the gate open again, and you see Merlin walk through.
Merlin, good to see you.
Good to see you too, Avayath. How are you doing?
Doing great. I've had a wonderful time talking to these new friends of mine.
Wonderful.
Theo, had straightened up in his seat.
Shui was waving excitedly.
She does not wave back.
Oh.
Theo was just like, man, these guys just go in on these celebrities. They just be like their best friend. But yeah, he's very nervous.
Merlin kind of looks around surveying everyone, gives a tiny nod, and then goes up onto the stage and is talking to Wynn and Peter, and she's just like, "Where are the other two?" And Peter just kind of looks at Wynn and shrugs a little bit, and Peter's like, "Don't you mean the other three?" And you see Merlin's eyes kind of widen a little bit, and he's just like, "He isn't back yet either." And they all three kind of are exchanging looks right now. And Merlin kind of clears her throat and is just like, "Well, it can't be helped. We will continue without them. Can you please keep an eye on the door to make sure that no one..." And as she's saying this, you see a second Merlin come up onto the stage.
I'm sorry.
Running up very fast onto the stage and running right up to the first Merlin. It's just like, Estel, I can't find Arthur anywhere. He was supposed to meet us at the gate so we could change before we came in." Merlin kind of glances over at the second Merlin and is just like, "Libris, what the hell are you doing?" And then you see the second Merlin kind of be like, and look down at herself, and her eyes go wide, and she's like, oh shoot. And you see the first Merlin just face go completely red, and before you're even able to properly react to these two Merlins standing on the stage, a third Merlin suddenly runs up onto the stage, looking at the two already there in exasperation, and it's just like, "We agreed that I was going to be the one to do the speech, Estel." And the first Merlin very openly just slaps her face, and it's just like, "Arthur, you absolute fucking idiot." And the three Merlins just kind of are all standing up on the stage currently, and they all start bickering with each other.
There's 3 Merlins!
Shui's mind cannot keep up.
Yeah, Theo looks lost and confused. He's sharing looks with Brandy and Titus.
Is this an illusion?
Titus also looks very confused.
Oh man, I want to do something.
Oh, you're gonna do it, aren't you?
What are you doing?
Brandy's gonna disguise himself as Merlin.
Oh my god!
Disguise himself as
Brandy,
Merlin.
What
And
are you doing?
I'm just gonna go clear some stuff up real quick.
And he's gonna walk up onto the stage and be like,
Do we wanna explain what's going on to the others?
There's a fourth Merlin?
You see the 3 other Merlins all kind of look at each other and then look back. And the first Merlin speaks up, and it's just like, "What the hell are you doing?"
I just thought we were all doing a fun little, trick. I guess. Am I wrong?
This wasn't supposed to... Couldn't you please go sit back down?
Of course. Might help though if y'all are more forward with the folks here.
We're working on it. We're trying... Listen, go sit down. We'll explain ourselves in a moment.
Sounds good.
he'll step off the stage and transform back.
Shui's
Did Theo hear that? Wait, was that conversation loud enough for people to hear?
I'd say probably, yeah. They weren't being especially quiet.
Now you be nice. That's what he says. That's what he says to Estel Merlin.
You see the first Merlin kind of sigh a little bit in annoyance and turn to the other two, and it's just like, well, let's just drop it then, yes. And the other two kind of nod very nervously at that, and you see the disguises drop and his people appear. Hold on.
As you're doing that, Theo had when he did his outburst, he was stood up from his chair, but then he immediately lost his confidence and slowly sat back down as Brandy came back to the chair. And he's muttering to himself, and he's like, how rude, but I can't believe I did that.
How rude. I can't believe I did that.
And you see the first one step forward and be like, hello, I am sorry for the theatrics. This wasn't supposed to happen. I am Estel Mist Corley, one of the previous chosen ones. Hello, I'm Libris, also a previous chosen one. And I'm Arthur, the founder.
Okay.
We about to be nice at the round table, yo.
Avayath is kind of upset right now. He's like, why are the three of you pretending to be Merlin?
There is another long pause as the three kind of exchange looks for a moment. Estel looks forward after they nod to each other, and it's just like, because Merlin Lancaster is dead.
I'm here crying out for you, so you'll find me at last and wipe away our past. Even now, falling towards something beyond this new script. The show starts without stars. I'm here crying out for you, so you'll find me at last and wipe away our past. Even now, falling towards something beyond this new script. This show starts without stars.